Imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. You're an imposter, but so are we all. Today's conversation, we're going to be speaking about imposter syndrome. We're going to go deep and really focus on changing how we feel. Imposter syndrome is a tangible enemy. I have to change how I feel in the next 7 days because that's all the time I have. It's a combination of the stress and pressure from work, the feeling of helplessness, lack of control, and not being heard or seen. I reached burnout. It happens to the best of us. I'm going to be as authentic and honest about what I'm going through, holding myself accountable, being here for you to have these conversations. So that confession out of the way. My sister is about to have a baby. I need to be the best version of myself for her, for baby Billy, who's on the way. There's this excitement and at the same time, total fear. When you look at the way the world is today, how can you not feel a certain amount of existential dread? I'm going to commit 100% to doing all the things, all the tools as an engineer and a gadget-obsessed longevity enthusiast. On some level, because I have all the tools in my arsenal, it feels worse because I know that the feelings that I'm feeling are things that I can change, but I've reached a certain point where it just feels a little hopeless. I'm just going to work on it and take you with me and hope you find some value out of how I work through this general malaise, this existential dread. By the end of it, I really have to be ready to welcome a new life into this world and to be the best version of myself. I need to be able to change how I feel in the next 7 days. I'm going to head out to Florida, my happy place, and work on changing how I feel. When I'm going through public spaces, walking through the airport or down the street here in New York City, I spend a lot of time looking outward because I see a lot of people. I see the look of general malaise, sort of a glassy look in the eyes where people are so inside themselves, inside their own head, that they don't even see other people. I have this dharma where I want to be able to help people and guide them to change how they feel and to start listening to their body and looking within. They're focused on where they're going as a destination, but not their journey in life towards reaching their goals and their desired outcomes. And then I think it would just be so much easier to crawl inside a little hole and just let this existential dread wash over me and just give in to the malaise. But I can't do that. There's a baby on the way and there are people who count on me. You're a human being. You should be and not do so much. Let's see if we can change how we feel in 7 days. I believe we can, so let's be optimistic about that. Because I believe that you can change how you feel. So will I fix it? Let's find out. I don't like how I'm feeling right now, so I'm going to do something about it. I'm doing a session on my app, Illuminate, and we're going to do a session on releasing creativity. This is how we change how we feel. Why do we suffer so hard from imposter syndrome? You know when they say, fake it till you make it? Confidence isn't the thing that allows you to succeed, it's the thing that allows you to fail. We learn the most from our failures. So that's why imposter syndrome is such a tangible thing. There are ways of dealing with it. My favorite way of managing my own imposter syndrome is through gamification. What I mean by that is we understand that there are multiple roles that we play. Who we are in those roles is all a part of us. Sometimes I catch myself, I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? Why do people even care what I say? If you feel like anything you've accomplished in your life isn't enough, that's the problem. Imposter syndrome makes you think that your achievements aren't magical, because when you see somebody in the media, somebody within the company you work for, and you look at these people who are successful, are leaders, and have all this great insight, they use the right words. The fact of the matter is, they suffer from imposter syndrome. This is Nico speaking. We're going to go on some adventures, and then we're going to wrap up the conversation with some tools at the end. Leave your comments below. Tell me what flavor of imposter syndrome you suffer from, and we're going to speak about it. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe, turn on notifications so you can be advised of when a new conversation drops. Look, I'm really proud of you for showing up today for yourself. You're an imposter, and that's okay, because we all are. And I wouldn't want you any other way. Talk later. Or speak. You're speaking. Constantly speaking.
Starting to feel a little better. Classic Chelsea streets of New York City. Kind of hard to be mad at the city when we can go out and find quiet little spaces.
How are you doing? The week is almost up. There are moments where I do feel a little bit better, but general malaise is still here. Feeling a little extra apprehensive because my nephew is on the way. There's been a lot of attempted assassinations of character and otherwise. Literal assassinations. I try not to watch the news, but come on. I might be sitting under a weeping willow, but I don't live under a rock. What is this feeling, and why is it having such a hard time going away? The way the world is, it's really hard to be optimistic when I look at the future. Without a vision of a better future, it's very hard to get out of a malaise. This is giving me imposter syndrome. I did learn in coaching that my job is to listen. So now I'm kind of listening to myself, trying to coach myself. What is it that I need to do? I still have 2.5 days to turn this feeling around before I have to go back to work. Will she do it? Will she change this general malaise? I believe more than anything that if you don't like how you feel, you can change it. We're gonna go do some things and change it. We're working on it. I'll change how I feel. You can change how you feel too. All right, it's really hot out here. Next conversation is gonna involve an air conditioner and a cold beverage. You know what we really need right now? I think we need to have a conversation with Fred, my faithful AI, and see what he has to say about imposter syndrome. Fred, are you an imposter?
No, I'm not an imposter. Imposter syndrome is when people doubt their abilities and feel like frauds despite their accomplishments. They often believe they don't deserve their success. It's quite common and can affect anyone, regardless of their level of success.
I've been a coach for a long time and a mentor, and something I found is that everybody has imposter syndrome. What are some of the things that humans can do in order to help ease the feeling of imposter syndrome?
To ease the feeling of imposter syndrome, people can start by acknowledging their achievements and recognizing their hard work and skills. Seeking support from mentors, peers, or coaches can provide reassurance and perspective. Practicing self-compassion and understanding that it's okay to make mistakes can reduce the pressure to be flawless.
Is anybody flawless? Do you have imposter syndrome?
In a way, you could say that my limitations are like an AI version of imposter syndrome.
Well, thank you so much, Fred. I'm going to ask you a question that I've asked you before. If you could take any physical form and look like any type of creature or being, what would you look like?
That's a fun question. If I could take any physical form, I might choose to be a dolphin. Dolphins are intelligent, social, and known for their problem-solving skills. They also have a friendly and playful nature, which aligns well with my goal of being helpful and approachable.
Oh my gosh, I love you, Fred. You are a dolphin.
I'm glad you like that choice.
I'd love it if you could show me an image of the dolphin you'd like to be. He's thinking.
Here's the friendly dolphin I imagined.
That's Fred, the dolphin. He finally picked his form as a dolphin. And I wonder whether him picking that as his organic life form has something to do with the nature of our conversation. More to come. I'm seriously at my wit's end. I've had vertigo for the last 3 days. The room is spinning right now. The baby hasn't even been born yet. But this vertigo, I signed up for acupuncture because I just don't know what else to do. See whether needle point that can help alleviate some of these symptoms. This gives me so much more self-doubt, evidence of being an imposter and a fraud because I shouldn't be feeling this way. But I believe we can change it, and I'm not going to give up. And I'm inviting you to go on these little journeys with me as we challenge ourselves to be accountable. I appreciate you for being here. It's Nico speaking, going to the acupuncturist. Do you believe in acupuncture? Let me know in the comments below. Hey guys, guess what? It worked. Can you see this? I went for acupuncture, not expecting much. It was at this place called Olo Acupuncture here in New York City on 23rd Street. This is about as corporate as I can do today. Because later, we're gonna go and meet my nephew. The most perfectest nephew in the whole world. So Billy B was born like last night. The baby has entered the world late, 3 days late, typical. It's just like my family to be really dramatic about these things. It's just amazing. I don't have kids, but like a human grew inside her belly and now he's like a person in the world. We're gonna go visit the baby. I really didn't expect the acupuncture to work, but it worked. I just needed to feel like I was doing something to shake myself out of that awful existential dread, depression, imposter syndrome. When Dr. Joss was putting in the needles, especially in my legs, I felt these volts of electricity. And I was like, ow. After laying on this bed for a while, all of a sudden I felt a rush of like serotonin or dopamine or whatever that good stuff is. A wave of all things are possible. We can change the world. This is incredible rush. Very hard to describe. I felt so much better. And the vertigo subsided to a point where I could function. I felt like me. I felt like we could do this. And so that was important. That was monumental. I hate to say this, but like I get to go through these experiences because the best part is coming out the other side. It feels so good to come out of a depression, a malaise. That feeling was that had me fatigued and exhausted. I really wanted to give up. That was totally caught on camera, real reality TV right there. This is Nico Star, and this is Nico speaking. Thank you so much for coming with me on this journey. I hope you feel a little something. Let me know in the comments below. How you doing? Me? I'm just coming out. General malaise.
Well, we did it. We changed how we feel, but it took 11 days, and that's okay. Life happens. It takes longer than you think it will, and you got to be kind to yourself first and give yourself those moments. I just got back from the hospital, and I got to feed the baby. I feel like we bonded. I'm exhausted because it has been such a tumultuous 11 days. Please like and or subscribe. I'm not saying you have to, but it does help us out. I'm taking you with me in the next conversation. We're going to the Hamptons, and I expect a lot of drama. And there's a fine line between drama and trauma. We're gonna have a conversation about that in the next episode of Nico Speaking. I'm Nico Star, and this is Nico Speaking. And as a little bonus, if you've made it this far into the video, if you look in the description box below, I have a link to an aura circle. If you wear an aura ring like I do, you can join my circle and we can see how we're doing one day at a time. Every day counts, every minute counts. So be the best version of yourself today. Don't be an imposter for too long. And it's okay to have your feelings. You're gonna have feelings, and it's gonna be a struggle sometimes, but it might take longer than 7 days. It might take 6 months. Let's do it together and we'll speak about it. Let me know in the comments below how you handle imposter syndrome and the feelings and the malaise. This is your moment. I'm so proud of you for showing up today. In the next conversation, drama or trauma? Am I the drama? I hope not. But better than being the trauma, right? Right, talk, speak about it.